Hello, World Tank Blitzers, it's Littlefinger, and hey, got an interesting pop-up hit my screen today. Kai Shinobi, $100. It comes with 360 days of premium. You do get the premium camo and all 9 garage slots. And I was thinking, wow, that seems like a lot. Well, 360 days of premium time is about $50. So basically, they're selling a tier 5 tank for $50. And I thought, wow, that's really a stretch, Wargaming. And then I drove it a few times, and to be honest, it's not my favorite tank, and I'll get into why as we go through those games. Alright guys, here we are, first game on Copperfield, and as we get started, the most important thing for you to remember about this tank is it has 226% credit coefficient. If you look at just the general stats here from Blitz Hanger, it does have a nice penetration value, and it is pretty high up there in damage for a medium tank. Also some good velocity numbers, but what you'll find out is that this tank is pretty sluggish for a medium, coming in at 39 kilometers per hour as the top speed. The gun handling is really good. Just look at this dispersion, aim time. All of this is really good. Interesting to note, they list the gun depression here as 6.5 degrees. I've seen it at 6 and 7 in 2 different locations, so I'm not sure which one is right. I guess they just took the average. So as we're moving up here, this dude gets spotted, and we're going to go ahead and get some shots into him and finish him off. But here is the downside to me on this tank. Look at these mobility numbers. Just horrible for a medium tank. And so I think what you want, for a medium tank is to be able to do serious damage as we get our second kill there. Because obviously that's how you're going to make your credits, is doing damage. So it was a little bit disappointing in playing these games that I wasn't able to get myself into the fight. Now look at that shot, fully aimed in on that PZ-54. We've got ghost shells going on right now, and it is kind of frustrating. And at the end of the game, I was even more frustrated, as you'll see the results. But it was one of these things. Once you get the tank moving, it moves quite well, but it does not accelerate well. And so I found it very difficult to get into positions that I needed to be to really increase my damage. So we get our third kill there. PZ-54 here is hiding behind these containers. But I don't want this AMX to get away. Obviously, he's a one-shot. So we're going to take his gun out of the game there, turn around, and focus on a tank that you're seeing a lot right now in Tier 5, because I guess a lot of you have gotten them out of the holiday event. The one other thing really of note on this tank, and you can see here, I'm struggling as a medium tank here, almost getting COD'd by a Leo here. But the armor on this isn't great either, which is what you would expect for it not having the same mobility as most of the other medium tanks, as we miss that shot off the back end. And we're getting a little dizzy here at this point. But turret 75 millimeters on the front, 50 on the sides, and 50 on the front of the hull, 25 on the sides. So we end up finishing this game with 6 kills, and unfortunately bounced the kill shot for what would have been a 7-kill game. And look at this, it only comes in at level 1, but it is 98,000 credits. And so with that 226% credit coefficient, it does make nice money. Rolling on to this next game on Black Goldville, and what I quickly found with this tank, due to its lack of mobility, you had to think much in advance of any potential escape routes. You can't brawl because you don't have the armor. So I had to play this more as a support medium tank. I did not play it on the front line. And this one, most of my games finished about like this one does, in the 800 to 900 range in damage, which is not good for a tier 5 tank. Rule of thumb here is 200 damage per tier. So at tier 5, we should be averaging about 1,000 damage. But again, I just felt like its lack of mobility kept me from getting to where I wanted to be in the action and getting shots on target. Not to mention missing shots like that. So instead of in a normal medium, which I know I might have some armor, I can angle and bounce some shots, I'd be in the caves by now. But not knowing, numbers, if they have 5 or 6 guys that go up there to our 2 that are currently up there, once you're stuck in that position, there's no getting out. You're just too slow. So, the one nice thing is you've got 160 average damage on it. So that's quite high for a medium at this tier. Most of them are going to be in your 110, 120 range. So you are getting a little extra damage, but your DPM is certainly not up to par, which is strange for a premium tank, because typically, these premium tanks have higher DPM. So as you can see in this game, basically I just tried to stay as safe as possible, and then conserve the hit points and come in at the end of the game. So at 1325 damage per minute, it is right in line with all of the other tanks. It is not exceeding or under any of them, really. So in summation, to me, this is just an average tank. There's nothing great about it. And in actuality, I wouldn't like playing it just because it is a slow, sluggish medium tank. I much more prefer a light or a fast medium. And unless you're grinding credits there at tier 5, then to spend $50 on this tank is just kind of crazy, if you ask me. So I'm going to pass on this deal. It is certainly not worth it. So hopefully you got a good bit of information from this video, and you can make your own informed decision. And hope you're having fun out there, guys. Remember, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.